Abundabashmaya Nikadashamak Tietet Malkota Teviganak ay kanad bashmay af bahara Abundabashmaya Nikadashamak Tietet Malkutak Neilet Tevigan ay ganad bashmay af bahara
Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 12 of this 21-day introductory program to Sahaja Yoga. The topic we'll cover tonight is the power of forgiveness. Before we get started, my name's Philip, and I'll be your host for this evening. I don't have much of a part to play, just to do a bit of housekeeping before we get started and make a couple of announcements. And I'll hand you over to the presenter for the evening. I came to Sahaja Yoga quite a few years ago now. I've been more of my life has been practicing Sahaja Yoga than it wasn't. And I feel very blessed and very lucky that I found Sahaja Yoga at the sort of young age of 17. And eternally grateful really to Shri Mataji and this wonderful movement that is Sahaja Yoga. And it's very amazing to see so many of you tuning in tonight, 12 days in. No doubt you're obviously feeling a lot of vibrations, or you've understood something is very important about Sahaja Yoga, which is keeping you joining each night, which is just amazing. Before we get started, or go any further, I need to just announce that on Saturday evening, again, we'll be having a workshop as we did last weekend. Same time, same link, same place. But in the workshops, you'll have the chance to split off into smaller breakout rooms with experienced Sahaja Yoga practitioners, where you can have more one-on-one sessions, ask questions about what you've been feeling, and get a bit of direction, maybe how to clear a particular catch, or maybe just how to help you feel vibration stronger. So always a really great event, and do try and tune in for that one. You can also feel free to bring along any family or friends or anyone else that you know who might be interested as well. You can always start any time, and we always allow for that. So if it is your first time tonight and you haven't actually taken the experience of self-realization, which is the beginning of Sahaja Yoga for each of us, or even if you have been doing it for a while but maybe haven't felt any vibrations yet, it can be helpful to go over that realization process again, where your Kundalini is triggered and raises for the first time. So if you feel you're in that category, please just drop a yes in the chat, and you'll be shortly transferred to a breakout room with someone who'll do that introduction for you and give you your self-realization. Angela Preston, I think we can see her camera come on in a minute, will be the presenter in the breakout room for the evening. So you'll be in her safe hands shortly. So while, I can see a few yeses happening there. That's fantastic. While that's happening and everyone's getting organized, I'll just talk a little bit more about the topic for this evening before I introduce you to the main presenter. So the topic is the power of forgiveness. And we know that forgiveness is the mantra or the antidote for when our Agnya Chakra is blocked. So, of course, this chakra here in our forehead. And it's a very interesting link between being able to forgive people and whatever's happened in our lives, and being able to go into a state of thoughtless awareness and meditation. So we're actually unable to really pass through the Agnya Chakra and go into a state of meditation if we haven't forgiven ourselves and everyone else first. So I'll leave it there and not steal any of Rita's thunder. She's probably going to explain in much more detail about the qualities of forgiveness and how that benefits us as well as the people we're forgiving and ourselves. So Rita, if we can get your camera on now. There's Rita. Welcome, Rita.
Hello. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Hope you're well too. Ready
I
to
am.
go? Fantastic.
Yes, yes. Thank you for having me here and for this opportunity. I've been mostly doing the tech work this time, which has been amazing. Same as you.
Yes, yes, we're all helping out here and there. Great to see you and to have you presenting tonight. And just before I turn my camera off, we've also got Hui Ling, who will be doing some beautiful live music on her piano at some point through the program as well. So keep an eye out for that.
That's
Uh,
right.
yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Rita. I'll hand over to you to take it from here with the program for tonight, and I'll join again just towards the end. Thank you
We'll
all.
see you shortly. We'll see you shortly. Thank you very much. So, namaskar, everyone. Um, um, when we say namaskar, it is basically we're acknowledging and my spirit humbly bowing down to yours. That is also a realized soul. So, welcome everybody to today's session. And as Philip said, my name is Rita. I'm a pharmacist by trade. And same as Philip, I've been practicing Sahaj for a long time, just over 40 years now. So let's start. Today's session is about the Agnya Chakra, the sixth energy center at the center of our forehead. We have a beautiful talk of Shri Mataji explaining a lot more about it. And so I'm going to refrain from saying much about it until we get after we listen to Shri Mataji talk about it. So I think it will be great if you can get straight into meditation to start our session today. So let's get ourselves settled and into meditation as we normally do. Let's raise our Kundalini and put ourselves in a bandhan. So as we do with raising the Kundalini, we have the left hand in front, the right hand revolving around, moving from the base of the spine all the way to the top, and putting a knot to hold the Kundalini up there. And we do this thrice for the three energy channels within us. At the second time, we put two knots. And the three knots. We put ourselves in a bandhan, which we know is that protection in the form of a rainbow, the vibrations, the bandhan around us. 7 times, one for each energy center. 2, 3 for the Swadhisthana, the third energy center. 4 for the heart, love and compassion and fearlessness. 5 the Shuddhi, collectively conscious. 6 the center of the forehead, forgiveness. 7 the Sahasrara, the stage of integration. We put our hands together after we put the bandhan, great way, just humbly request the Kundalini Mother within us to awaken and help balance our energy center and channels, also acknowledging and respecting Shri Mataji as our guru, our teacher, our guide. You can have Mother's part. We take a few nice deep breaths in and out. in, hold our breath as long as comfortable. Long deep breath. More, nice deep breath in. Long breath. Let's express our desire and help the Mother Kundalini awaken by just using our right hand to raise in front from the base of the spine all the way to the top of our head, and just putting a gentle pressure at the top of the head. And again, we'll just do this another couple of times. Rest in our heart to please. Let us feel our spirit, our Kundalini, and our depth of meditation today. So yesterday we celebrated 15th of August, where we talk about freedom. But when we look at meditation, when we think about meditation, it's also the freedom we are talking about is external. But our internal freedom is when we stop being a slave to our mind, tied to the chains of our thoughts, our conditionings, our habits, our emotions, attitudes, etc. So how do we then attain freedom? So here is where we take the help of Mother Kundalini. We anchor our attention to our spirit. We acknowledge that we are not the mind, we are not this ego, the sleeper ego, not the conditionings, not our memories, or not our aspirations either. So through the meditation today, with all our attention on our spirit, all the love in our hearts, let's move our attention to our liver, which is the seat of our attention. The liver provides the energy for our white cells in our brains. So having a nice, calm, cool liver also means that it helps to settle our attention. So let's close our eyes. Mother, please remove all the excessive heat, all the overactivity of our liver to help settle our attention. The left channel, being the moon channel, we're targeting that cooling energy of the moon. They say, Mother, please let the cooling power of the moon calm my liver, calm my thoughts, calm my attention. Let's bring our left hand back onto our lap. Let's place our right hand onto our heart. So, Mother, please open my heart. Please allow me to love myself, to love others, to have compassion. Allow me to enjoy my spirit. Allow me to see everything through the eyes of my spirit. And yesterday, we meditated on the heart chakra and the Vishuddhi. There's a little nerve that goes from our heart through the left Vishuddhi and onto the Sahasrara, into our brains. So there's a great connection between that direct connection, which can be hindered at our Vishuddhi, which is the left Vishuddhi chakra at the throat, the left side. So let's just place our right hand on our left Vishuddhi, just switching our head slightly to the right so we can put that little bit more pressure. And we say, Mother, please dissolve the habit of mental judgment and guilty feeling within me. Give me the strength to face my actions so that the collective consciousness is established within me. is awakened within me. Mother, I am not guilty. So as the Kundalini passes through the Agnya, let's help open the Agnya. There's a few little exercises we can do. As we were talking, the main challenge here is forgiveness, being a witness, going thoughtless, not allowing these thoughts to overtake our attention, our balance, our peace and joy. So a really good exercise here is just to place our Agnya finger, which is the ring finger, on our right hand, place it on our Agnya and just gently rotate it in a clockwise direction. Just gentle massage. So remember that all the techniques that we teach you is to enable you to be your own guru, your own master. You use the technique when required, depending on what you're feeling vibrationally on your fingers. Once we've done that little massage, Mother, I forgive. We'll just help again the Mother Kundalini by raising our right hand in the front. Just massage that a little bit again. Also massaging just all that love and the joy and compassion of the Spirit in our heart. Move that attention from our heart all the way to the Sahasrara to help go through the Agnya, just that little massage. Mother, I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. And then just a couple of times raising our Kundalini. Put your hands on our lap. Just watch what you're feeling on your hands. Watch your thoughts. And move our attention on top of our head. And we've still got a slight pressure in our head. You can use another technique where we use the palm of our hands place it across our Agnya. And we did do this exercise yesterday, just placing across the Agnya, putting slight pressure with the ends of our hands. We bow down our head and rest it lightly into our palms. Again, Mother, I forgive. I forgive everyone. And I forgive myself. Letting the gentle love of our Mother Kundalini flowing through us. Joy and the compassion of our spirit. Mother, I forgive myself. If you're feeling slight pressure at the back of your head, you can have your hand in the front, the right hand in the front, and we take our left hand and put that slight pressure at the back of our head also. In Mother, I forgive myself. And with our humility, we can also ask, Mother, please forgive me. Mother, I forgive everyone. Bring both our hands on our laps again. Tension on top of our head. Just watching our hands to see what we are feeling. Watching our thoughts. Again, just remembering that thoughts are nothing but neural connections in our brain. Each thought is a nerve connection, is a connection of set of nerves. That's all. We allow that light of our spirit, the love and the compassion, to dissolve these connections. So all our reactions, all our anxiety, our thoughts, letting the spirit be the guide, be the ruler of our brain. Help dissolve these thoughts. And there's one other little exercise that we use for the Agnya, is using the candle. Now the light, the fire, the light element, the light is the element of the Agnya. So this is another exercise that we use. Now it is important, I think we've discussed this before with our candle treatment, where we use the heat of the fire element to help burn kind of and destroy the negativity of our left side. We use it to clear, any of the chakras of the left side and stuff. But here at the Agnya, instead of using that, the heat element, the destroying character, the burning character of the fire element, we use the light quality, the quality of light. So when we are doing this exercise, we hold the flame not close to the Agnya because we don't want the heat, but we want the light. So we are holding it about an arm's length. And if you can have Shri Mataji's photo, please. So what we do is through that flame, through the light, we look at the red dot on Shri Mataji's forehead. And you just watch through the flame to the red dot. We find that thoughts will subside. And your attention ends up anchoring on your spirit at the Sahasrara. And if you don't have the candle at the moment with you, please just watch the red spot on Shri Mataji's forehead, on her Agnya. We find the space between our thoughts increases and we become. We tap into that thoughtless state, the drop becoming the ocean. Where there's no other. Mother, I am the spirit. Mother, I forgive. Let's just close our eyes for a minute. Keep our attention at the top of the head. And just enjoy this state of silence. Keeping our hands on our lap, our attention on the Sahasrara, let's watch a short video with Shri Mataji explaining to us about the Agnya energy center.
So here what happens that when the Kundalini rises, when she goes to the Agnya Chakra, which represents, as you say, the third eye, whatever you may call it, it is between the optic chiasma and it looks after the pituitary and the pineal body. And as a result, we have developed two institutions called ego and superego. The ego is the one which tells us, I have done it, I am doing this. Both these institutions are sucked in by the enlightenment of this center. And that's how the thing opens out. And all your karmas are sucked in. So there's no problem of karmas. Only human beings think that they are doing karmas. Animals don't. They have no sense of sin or anything. They are completely under the bondage of God. So in Sanskrit they are called as Pashu, means under the bondage. But we are the ones who have got freedom. That's why we think that we have done this and we have done that. We should not do this, we should not do that. But when the Kundalini rises and she awakens the center, then both these things are sucked in. And when they are sucked in, then you do not do any karmas anymore. You just are in a karma. You do everything. I mean, I travel, such a lot, and I have a family, and everything is there. But it's just happening. I'm just seeing it. I'm not doing anything as such. So when you are also awakened, there's no obligation. It's just happening. It is so. Is here where we should understand this center is bestowed upon by the great life of Christ. Christ is there, and they said that he died for our sins, died for our karmas, is a fact. Because when he is awakened, these two institutions are pulled inside, and you get your Kundalini out there. It opens out, and this bone, which has been calcified, opens out, and the Kundalini pierces through. And this is what it is that he died for our sins. But still the theory is extended that we must suffer. Why should we suffer? He has suffered for us already, and is already written by Thomas, who was traveling to India via Egypt, where he wrote the treatise, and he said that why should we suffer? Christ has already suffered for us. And he's talked everything about Sahaja Yoga. He said it is an experience of self-realization and everything. And that book now is out in England. After 48 years, they could decode the whole thing, which was found about 48 years back in Egypt. And is out now, and is beautiful. Gnostics is the name of the book. But is not so much appreciated by some of the people because it challenges the theories of sufferings and confessions and all this nonsense.
Awaken the Kundalini at will.
Me or you? You cannot awaken yourself. You see, you have to have one enlightened candle to enlighten another candle. This candle, which is not enlightened, cannot enlighten itself. But there's no obligation. But you can correct. Once it is awakened, you can correct it, you can develop it. First, only few hair-like strands of this energy come up and open the fontanelle bone area, and then this flow of Ru starts flowing on you, and it relaxes more of the centers, so more of these strands start coming up. So you can develop it at your will by understanding it, but you cannot enlighten yourself by yourself.
When she meditates, she has great difficulty in maintaining total awareness. Why is this difficult?
Because it's not Sahaja meditation. All other meditations are artificial. You are in meditation when you are in such. Unless and until Kundalini is awakened and you are one with the divine power, still thinking all the time. How can you stop thinking? There is one thought that rises and another thought that falls off. Again another thought comes up and it falls off. It goes on like this, and we are dancing on the cusp of these thoughts. In between the thought there's a little space called as Vilamba, is the present. Either we are in the past or in the future. But that is only possible when the Kundalini comes up, then these thoughts become more lean and there's a bigger space left, and you remain in thoughtless awareness. And that is how it works out. That's in the meditative mood you are all the time. You don't have to meditate because you are in thoughtless awareness. As soon as you see something extremely beautiful, extremely joy-giving, or a personality who is a realized soul, or anything that's so righteous and good, immediately become thoughtless. Immediately. It happens. You don't have to do it. You don't have to be in meditation, you just become. I've seen these days there are many children who are born, who are realized souls. And just I've seen them sitting before me, just sitting, not moving, nothing, just in meditation. Your pupils dilate and you start feeling the cool breeze in your hand. Even if you meet someone, it happens, if he's a realized soul. It's very interesting. There was a poet in India who was himself a tailor, and he went to see somebody who was a potter. Both were realized souls. And the potter was busy with his clay, you see, trampling it with his feet. When he saw this, tailor saw this potter, he looked at him, went into thoughtless awareness. And he said that, the poetry is so beautiful, he says, I came to see the nirguna, meaning the formless, that is the vibrations, I came to see that. But that is in person here. Such appreciation is not possible unless and until you are a realized soul. We always see the defects of a person. But such a deep appreciation of another personality is only possible when you are a realized soul. And then you are amazed how you are surrounded by such beautiful people.
Just keep our eyes closed and stay in meditation for a little while longer. We've got healing playing some beautiful music to help us with that. Thank you, Huling. That was absolutely divine. With that, we might just drive our attention out of meditation for a little while and just learn a little bit about the Agnya chakra. This is the hardest part, is to think after going into meditation. Can we have the slides, please? So here we go. So this is what we're talking about as Agnya chakra, as Shri Mataji was saying. We have our ego, our superegos. That next slide, please. Thank you. And so the place, just the general physiology and where it is placed, as we say, in the center of our forehead. We call it also the third eye, which, we call it the narrow pathway or the gateway to Sahasrara, to the kingdom of God and beyond. On our fingers, it's represented by the ring finger, left and right side, as we do with every energy center. If you're feeling that tingling and heat on a particular finger on the left, it means that it's the left side of that energy center that needs a little bit of work. If you're feeling a tingling or heat on the right finger, it means the right energy center, the right side of that particular energy center that needs work. And if you're feeling the tingling on both or heat on both, it's usually the center one that needs work. And of course, if it's cool and you're feeling that nice flow of breeze, that's brilliant. It means that it's nice and balanced and clear. Now, usually when we're talking, like when we have spoken about the left side, the right side, all the energy centers, so this is how they're placed. We have the right, the left, and the center. So if we kind of draining excessively, if we're right-sided, which means we're overactive thinking, we have a lot of work is involved, a lot of planning, a lot of time-bound, multitasking, so we're thinking a lot. We tend to drain our right energy. So we're going a little bit to that. So as you can see, instead of being completely balanced, you can see that there's that little blockage being created. Same way, if we tend to be a little bit to the left, emotional, we've had things that we are not able to let go. So the left side, we're draining the left side energy a little bit. So we get that blockage happening at the energy center. So what happens is when the Kundalini awakens, the mother energy, she starts to nurture these, bring them back into balance. So those innate qualities that we are talking about within ourselves, like that fearlessness at the center heart, or the compassion and love and feeling, open-heartedness, that sweet kind of speech that we were talking about, the pleasing words to make someone's heart feel open. So these are innate qualities of the energy centers that kind of start to manifest because we're getting those energy centers automatically into balance. At the Agnya, we've got say that's the brain, the left and the right side. So we have the narrow pathway I talk about happens because the left side, I suppose, in nature, everywhere in science, we know every action has a reaction. So say you're driving a car, you have pollution, you're using something, you create rubbish and things like that. So within us, when we are going into the left or we're going into the right, we end up creating that the reaction or the pollution that's being caused into these institutions, which is, so on the left side, we know that it crosses over and goes to the right side of the brain. So this is where that little bit of difference comes. When we talk about left Agnya in our Sahaj language, we're talking about the left Agnya is the right part of the brain. because at the Agnya, at the optic chiasma, it crosses over. So the left side, the left channel comes through, crosses over, goes to the right side of the brain. So that's the left Agnya, because it's the left side going there, the superego. The right side, the right channel goes through, crosses over, goes to the left side of our brain. So that's the ego there. So these two. So when we get that overactivity on the right side, the result is that ego. We kind of feel we're doing everything and we're great and how fantastic we are. Generally, if we are the left-sided emotional, where we don't have that strength to stand up for yourself, that resultant is the superego, which is, oh, I'm not good enough, or I don't know if I'll be able to, and you're doubting yourself, you're feeling deflated. So that's the ego and the superego. Generally, we kind of call these as the balloons. So as you're doing the left channel, kind of the balloon, as it builds up, the pressure builds up, it kind of overtakes and causes that blockage in this kind of form where it's blocking the Agnya. So when we get the realization, when we are going in meditation, we always request for Mother Kundalini to kind of deflate these balloons, so that once they are deflated, it helps open our Agnya to allow the Kundalini to go through the Sahasrara into that connection above. And a great way, as we were talking about, is, yes, the two petals, as we know, on the Agnya, the light element we've already used. The color is silver. The planet is the sun. And of course, as we were using for doing the massage, the ring finger is the place of the energy center on our hands as such. And the pineal optic thalamus, the pineal gland that it looks after, is just at this level, kind of inside, just under there. Next slide, please. Thank you. So this is the main thing we talk about, is forgiveness and getting into thoughtless awareness. And Shri Mataji talked about Christ in terms of resurrection. And look, been doing Sahaj for a while, but it is still sometimes a challenge not to react with our ego. So it's not as if I never react, but I do realize it very quickly. And then we have ways to deal with it, where you go into your mental silence. It kind of helps to see ourselves like in a mirror. So, you're seeing ourselves as others see us. Our little idiosyncrasies, our little subtle nuances, which have at times, honestly, can be painful, but ultimately it helps us be humble. It helps us be strong. It helps us to forgive ourselves and to forgive others. So then it develops that empathy, the compassion, the humility that is required to kind of cross this narrow pathway. Thank you. Next slide, please. Next slide, thanks. You've given me, thank you, sorry. So here, and as we did during meditation, therefore, the greatest tool that we have for our Agnya Chakra is forgiveness. Hum and sham in Sanskrit word we use. So I am, hum is I am, to counteract that superego that, I'm not good enough, I'm nothing. But I am the spirit. I am not these reactions. I am not these thoughts. I'm not this ego or the superego. I am the spirit. So I am. And sham, I forgive. I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. And also through that humility, asking for forgiveness. So we do the front and the back Agnya both, and they work absolutely amazingly as mantras to help open those energy centers. And okay, so let's sit for a few more minutes in meditation. using the techniques that we have learned to help clear our energy center, clear the Agnya, and go back into meditation for a little while. And then I will, when ready, Philip, I'll please feel free to come over and continue with the session. Thank you. And just close our eyes, nice deep breaths in and out. Just recenter ourselves, our attention. Move our attention just a couple of inches at the top of our head. And just watch your hands. You still find that thoughts are troubling your attention. Just try and watch them. Just let them float by without reacting. Mother, I'm not this thought. I am the spirit. Shri Mataji talking about Christ and resurrection, we can actually use the Lord's Prayer to help open and balance Agnya Chakra and settle these thoughts to establish forgiveness. Just putting our hands across our forehead, just resting, bending our heads down in humility, resting our head in our hand. Put our attention on the center of the forehead. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Neither this ego nor the super ego, neither this mind nor these thoughts, nor the reaction, nor this body, nor these emotions. I am the spirit. And forgive. With our hands on our lap. Finish our meditation, raising our Kundalini and putting ourselves in a bandhan again. And try and keep the attention on the top of our head. And feel the vibrations as we are doing the action. Feeling the Kundalini go up with your hands. No. Second time. Is not for the third. As we put ourselves in a bandhan, just feel the vibrations moving with your hand. The first energy center of innocence. The second, pure knowledge and pure thoughts. The third of satisfaction, being our own guru, our own master. Fourth of fearlessness, love and compassion. Fifth, being collectively conscious and a witness. The sixth, forgiveness. Seven, integration. Being that drop in the ocean where there is no other. I am the spirit. We just put our hands together. Just humbly thank Shri Mataji for giving us this opportunity to meditate collectively. For letting us find Sahaj, giving us our self-realization. Thank you. I'm going to hand over to Philip. Thank you, Philip.
Yes, thank you, Rita. That was really amazing and a very beautiful presentation as well. I tell you, the problem with being a presenter is you've got to stop meditating to come out and think what you've got to say next again.
So hard.
Yeah, but so much wisdom and sort of divine knowledge and all that, information not only about the chakra, but what Shri Mataji was saying as well was just full of vibrations. I know I really enjoyed. So I hope all of you listening, got a lot out of that as well. We're sort of nearly at the end of the program, of course, now for tonight. I believe we've opened up the chat though, so if any of you would like to get on there and share your experiences or what you're feeling, what you felt through tonight vibrationally, that would be wonderful to share with us so we can all enjoy. All the resources from tonight's program will be up on the website. You can see the link there. You can always scan it with your phone camera or type in the URL. If you want to hear any of what you saw tonight, see it again. And of course, a reminder again that we have the workshop on next Saturday evening, the same time, which is always a great opportunity, very interactive, and you have much more opportunities to talk with someone one-on-one, ask your questions, explain what you're feeling or not feeling, and get some really good advice. And finally, tomorrow night, the topic will be all about the Sahasrara chakra. So the seventh chakra, this one here, of course, on top of our head. So a very, very important evening. Please don't miss it. I hope we see you all again tomorrow night. And thank you all very much for attending. Good night.
through the way.